retailer says the security team won't only be checking coolers for glass, but other potential dangers like bombs or weapons. With CT scanners like the one you see behind me, you'll no longer have to take out your laptop or liquids at TSA checkpoints. Thanks to public workshops, people of all ages and backgrounds can make their very own microbial masterpieces. And eventually knocking on his door. No answer. A new study says that 25 kids per hour go to the ER for bike injuries. 11% of those are brain or head related. So parents, the next time your kid wants to go out for a ride, it probably wouldn't hurt to put that helmet on. National Die-In Day protests are being held all over the country. And the people you see behind me laying down here are protesters from right here in New York who say they're tired of the gun violence. With dogs like Paco here, this rat race is most definitely for the swift. A massive earthquake hit Indonesia on Sunday. The 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit Lombok, an Indonesian tourist island. And the security cameras at a California home caught a bear opening the door to the back seat of a car and getting himself a snack.
Noah Posner. Anna Marquez Green.
They're the names of two people who lost their lives to gun violence.
Because this country brushes gun violence under the carpet. This country brushes urban violence under the carpet.
The naming of gun victims was part of a die-in led by young students from the group March for Our Lives, New York.
Jonathan Vega.
The New York event took place in a park near the United Nations building in Manhattan.
Enough is enough. Our kids are dying. I'm 14 and I'm worried about going to school and staring down a barrel of a gun. I shouldn't have to face that reality.
National Die-In Day protests are being held all over the country, and the people you see behind me laying down here are protesters from right here in New York who say they're tired of the gun violence. This year, National Die-In Day was held on the second anniversary of the shooting that killed 49 people at Pulse, a gay nightclub in Orlando.
As a gay woman, as I was coming to terms with my sexuality, 49 people were brutally murdered for accepting theirs.
Two survivors of the February shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida, where 17 people died, were also there.
Because the real leaders of our nation are standing behind me and in front of me today.
These young people fighting for gun reform say their battle is far from over. Quanecia Fraser, CBS News, New York.
Sabina Sheikh. Angelique Ramirez.
When people come in from outside of the lab and we show them what we're doing here, we usually have to say it a few times.
Tara Rhoda may look like a scientist,
so if I wanted to add texture,
but she's actually an artist.
As they approach the light box and I introduce the concept of painting with bacteria and mention that the bacteria is E. coli, all of a sudden the group that's approached immediately retracts. And it happens every time.
She manages the BioArt Lab at the School of Visual Arts in New York.
I kind of ease them back in and assure them that it's not the kind that they've heard about in the news.
It's not the kind that can make them sick.
Right.
This is what's called agar art, bacteria painted on agar, the jelly-like substance used in petri dishes.
And it's clear, it's transparent, and rather than immediately being able to see our art, we have to wait for it to grow.
The E. coli used here are genetically modified for safety and to produce colorful pigments. Some even glow in the dark. Agar art has also started spreading on social media. The Instagram account Petri Dish Picasso gives new meaning to popular culture.
We got a lot of people that said, "Ew, what are you doing? This is awful. You're going to create the next superbug."
Courtney Toth is one of Petri Dish Picasso's many contributors.
It's not just about the bacteria being pretty. It's about telling a story behind that Petri dish.
Another agar artist who's taken to Instagram is Melissa Palmer. She runs Microbial Muse.
I also really like the imagery of using lots of really small microbes to show the beauty of big nature, like mountains and lakes and landscapes.
And now, agar artists are bringing their best dishes to the competitive table. The American Society for Microbiology runs an annual agar art contest that started in 2015.
The general public really doesn't think about microorganisms unless they're thinking about disease.
Catherine Lontock represents the organization.
And it's actually only about 1% of bacteria cause disease in humans. Bacteria do a lot of things for us that are good.
But you don't have to be an expert to explore agar-art. Thanks to public workshops, people of all ages and backgrounds can make their very own microbial masterpieces. This is GenSpace in Brooklyn, the world's first community biology lab.
We have lots of different strains that have different colors.
Daniel Grushkin runs GenSpace.
People from all walks of life have walked in here and got in the lab, put on their lab gloves, and painted sometimes their first portrait using a living organism.
It's fun. I mean, it's enjoyable. Something as simple as drawing is a great way to draw the public in.
There you go.
Ooh, that's exciting. Quanecia Fraser, CBS News, New York.